Yes, PAX East 2025. Sorry for the delay. It's your man Technish, aka Gene Cappsoffgaming, and I'm here for the wrap up of PAX East 2025. So I've been going to PAX East since 2013. I remember my boy gave me his day pass, to be able to go at night. I wasn't able to see the floor, but that was like my first time actually seeing and actually being like at a big conference. I think PAX East has been going through a lot of changes. I know that at first it was for indie games, indie developers. That was mainly the showcase for. But then, you know, the big three, you see shining up over here, the big three kind of invaded and took up most of PAX. Indie game community still being there, but it was less noticeable. But then, you know, the pandemic happened, and then most of the big threes, well, all of the big threes now are just doing directs online, saves money, I guess, and they've been continuing that even after the pandemic. So now PAX East is now coming back to its roots. So this year, and I mean even last year and this year, I've seen just a lot more like indie developers showcasing their games, which is awesome. There's still, you know, little stuff here and there that's still industry, but it's good to see PAX East doing that, yo. So almost similar to last year, I'm just gonna talk about some of my like favorite moments during PAX. But before you go, please like, sub, comment, and share. It really helps with the channel, and who knows, it might be somebody's favorite. But without further ado, let's get into it. So they're maybe not the big three, a part of the big three now, but we can't hate on Atari. And Atari had a booth, which was awesome. They were showcasing the new 2600 Plus. It's basically a clone machine of the original 2600, but it's HDMI, and then also it plays 7800 game cartridges too as well. I know a lot of people in the retro community that really fond of Atari. I know that the janitor at school, I ended up copying them the Atari 50 collector's edition, so I had that plus the DLC. Big Atari fan, you know, my boy from Game Closet, Dr. Scott, always talking about Atari and everything, and it was really welcome to see that. One of the things I really liked about this, is why it's my favorite moment, is that they had like an actual like old school asteroid cabinet set up, yo, but it had like lights and everything like that. But the coolest thing is that, you know, the old school controllers. I forgot in asteroids that you didn't have a joystick. You just had the buttons that you had to move back and forth, like thrust and everything like that. And yeah, that's a pretty hard game if you don't have a joystick. But yeah, man, Atari booth was really dope. That was really dope to see that they kind of brought it to old school. Even one of the guys looked like he was like straight from like the 70s, early 80s, like some like Nolan Bushnell type stuff. Yeah, and like I said earlier, the indie game community came out really strong, and PAX is holding it down with that. A lot of old school indie game developers that I've seen Retro Rare, which was really dope. They have games like the Toxic Avenger game that just came out, at Prison City. I ended up copying Iron Me. This was like one of 3 copies that was left on the table, and like, yo, I am about the physical, okay? Don't worry about that, y'all. Another booth that I was really happy about seeing, like the Behemoth booth, aka newgrounds.com. You all remember that, right? And they had a bunch of games, Castle Crashes. They were showing, I think they were showing a new version of Alien Hominid, but then they had the older versions on, like, you know, you had the 360 version, and there was one that came on PS2. They were displaying all of that, so that was dope. Limited Runs Games was there as well. But I went on a Saturday. This starts on a Thursday. So everything that they brought by Saturday was like gone and everything. So there was nothing really there for me to cop. Also, my booth, my favorite booth, always be going there, VGNY, or VGNY Soft, however you want to call it. They have a bunch of games, and I always love this booth because they had previews. I mean, like, a lot of the other booths did have some type of preview, but they had previews of almost everything that they had on the table, which was great. So I ended up grabbing this new shooter called Risk System. This is pretty funny. Not even funny. This is pretty ill. Risk System. The way it's a shmup. The way it works is that you have to fly like really close to enemy fire, and your ship kind of sucks in some energy or something like that from the fire, which charges like a screenshot, like, or a screen clearing blast. And with that, that's the whole thing, the risk system, like risk reward. So I think that's a really risk system. This is a really innovative. This is one of the new ones that VGNY had out on the table as well. Another game that I did grab was here, Within the Blade. So this is almost Ninja Gaiden, you know, NES vibes and everything like that, but instead this ninja has a lot more moves, like almost traditional like ninja moves, like a grappling hook, stuff like that. Grappling hook, you know, throwing darts, everything. I think you earn them throughout the mission, but there is like a tutorial mode that you can play where you can kind of preview all of the things that you're going to be using like throughout the game. The platforming in here is pretty tough too as well. So this is my cosplay for PAX East. All right, it is a character. His name is Jin Takeda from Samurai Champloo. It's an anime that was out in the 90s. It infused like feudal Japan, Edo during that time with like hip hop and everything. What you call it? Newbies. It's a lo-fi group. I forget their names. Newgies, I got it right, Newgies. I really like this cosplay because I finally got everything right. Like, I got the belt right, the rope that you see with the sword. I was gonna wear two, but I just felt like that would have been too much to wear, like especially moving around through the con and everything like that. I mean, it was hard enough. It was hitting people with the thing. But I digress. But yeah, man, I didn't take that much pictures when it came to the cosplays, but there was, like, you know, cons are really dope, especially for PAX East. They really come out with the cosplay. This one here is one of my favorite pictures. You know, it blends everything that I love, like old school, new school, fighting games, comic books, everything like that. So yeah, man, it was a really dope time. I wish I could show you something that Dee done, but, you know, unfortunately, she forgot half of her cosplay at home. And it's okay, you know, she still was there to help take some pictures and help me videograph. So I always love okay, to the whiz. And now let's keep moving on to like my favorite, most unexpected part of PAX. Yo, so my favorite, best part of PAX is that they had a full arcade room, retro arcade room. And I'm talking about, they had old school cabinets. They had the cabinets from Japan where they do the fighting games on, like Street Fighter and stuff like that. And then as we walked in, like, it's like a wave of nostalgia went over me. Because the place was enclosed, that means all the noises from the machines and everything and the people talking, all of it literally simulated an old school arcade from the 80s and the 90s and everything like that. Like, I was amazed and I was stunned and I was all up in my feels, yo. So I'll play a little bit of it. Sorry for the camera being out of focus, but like, again, I was in my feels. So just listen to the cacophony of noise as we're going through the arcade. Wild. Super Pac-Man. Look at this old school machine. Balloon fight? What kind of machine is this? Oh, this is the 40 plus club in here. Y'all, okay? This is the 40 plus club. Okay, yeah. Oh, excuse me. You all talking about it. Look at these old school machines. Dude, this is the best thing that PAX has ever done. Dance Dance Revolution. Yup, tomorrow. Okay. Uh-oh, okay. What about? Gun. DDR, dog. Yo, that's about it. Yo, PAX 2025. Wrap it up. I'm really happy to see that PAX is going back to supporting indie developers a little bit more. I mean, the space felt a little bit empty because the big three wasn't there. But besides that, it's really good to see like newer games, fresher takes on you know, this media thing that we really love. Well, this entertainment that we all love and everything like that. So big ups to PAX. Definitely be back next year. And yeah, yo, that's it. But before you go, please like, sub, comment, and share. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the flip. Have a great day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Peace out.